Today on the Daily Scoop podcast from the Scoop News Group, the Energy Secretary is getting nervous about growing public backlash to AI, and the Air Force has its first ever Chief Modernization Officer. It's Monday, April 20th, 2026. Welcome to the Daily Scoop podcast, where you'll hear the latest news and trends facing government leaders. I'm the host of the Daily Scoop podcast, Matt Bracken, filling in for Billy Mitchell. Thanks so much for joining me. Let's dive into the day's top headlines. The Energy Department might be all in on artificial intelligence, but the increasing apprehension among the American public is starting to pose a challenge, according to the agency's top official. During a budget hearing on Capitol Hill last week, Energy Secretary Chris Wright told lawmakers
that the country as a whole is going very negative on AI, and this is a risk because it will be a loss to America if we stop this development and this investments and this improvement.
The DOE under Wright has a major role to play in the Trump administration's ambitious AI-focused Genesis mission, with plenty of focus specifically on the national laboratories. Wright said he views opposition to AI as a risk that's, quote, very real and, quote, growing, particularly across rural America. During the hearing, members of Congress offered a few explanations. Large plots of land are going to massive data center buildouts. The spike in data centers is then leading to increasing energy costs as resources are diverted to powering and cooling the facilities. Marcy Kaptur, a Democratic congresswoman from Ohio, said
there's more political science against AI in our region than for candidates in the upcoming races. I don't know what backlash there's going to be, but I'm telling you it's coming.
Senate Democrats have been tracking the data center issue closely, sending a letter in November to Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and Office of Science and Technology Policy Director Michael Kratsios. That letter called attention to soaring electricity bills and increasing burdens on water supplies due to the fast tracking of data center buildouts. In December, more than 230 environmental groups urged Congress to put a moratorium on data center construction. At the same time, elected leaders across the country have been voted out based on their position on data centers, construction proposals have been withdrawn, and data center development moratoriums have gained traction. Wright suggested to lawmakers that reversing the AI backlash may come down to marketing and better communication of the technology's benefits. If officials aren't able to change the public perception, Wright said the country is, quote unquote, at risk. In other news, Major General Christopher Niemi has been nominated to serve as the Air Force's first ever Chief Modernization Officer as part of a reorganization of the service's Air Force Futures. The Trump administration announced Niemi's nomination for promotion to 3-star general last week. If confirmed by lawmakers, he would serve in a dual-hatted position as both the Air Force's Deputy Chief of Staff for Strategy, Design, and Requirements, and the service's official Chief Modernization Officer, according to an Air Force spokesperson. Niemi's nomination comes amid the restructuring of Air Force Futures. In October, Secretary of the Air Force Troy Menck announced that the service would reverse a Biden-era decision to establish the Integrated Capabilities Command, which is envisioned as a separate major command that would develop future operational concepts, requirements, and modernization plans. Instead, the department will consolidate the functions of the ICC into the existing Air Force Futures. A key part of the reorganization includes creating a new Chief Modernization Officer who will be responsible for force design, mission integration, and mission threads, as well as capability development requirements and modernization investment priorities. Niemi has previously held a number of positions responsible for the planning, programs, and requirements, including roles at Air Force Warfare Center, Air Combat Command, and Pacific Air Forces. For more news at the intersection of the federal government and technology, visit fedscoop.com. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Daily Scoop podcast, available on all podcast platforms. If you've already rated the podcast on your platform of choice, thank you. High ratings and good reviews of the show help more people find it. The Daily Scoop podcast is a production of the Scoop News Group in Washington, D.C. Adam Butler and Carlin Fisher help put this show together, and the entire Scoop News Group team contributes. We'll be back tomorrow with more top headlines. Until then, I'm your host, Matt Bracken. Thanks for listening.